This whole thing is about over. And that's what's so encouraging to me.
Yeah.
And if you look at my guests, Henrik, you see I don't spend a whole lot of time talking about what's wrong.
Yeah.
I spend time talking about people who have amazing life stories and great solutions to a lot of our issues. And I'm not looking to solve culture's problems. I'm looking to solve my own. What can you do as an individual to make your life, your family, your space safe, healthy, and happy? That's what we need to be doing. And then from there it moves outward. Again, this idea of expanding circles.
Sure, yeah.
But first your own.
I totally
agree. It doesn't
agree.
require that much. It requires just, us to let it down a little bit. Realize we don't have it all figured out. Realize we don't know shit, frankly. Say we're sorry for all the stuff that we've done. Not only to our friends and our family and our neighbors, but also to the other creatures that we share this planet with. We have got to come to terms with that, right?
Yeah.
And when we do that, it's rough and it'll be difficult. But when you get through it, then you get the payoff, I think. And for the people who aren't willing to do it, well, here it is.
Here it is. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that kind of a liberating, aspect of yourself, coming in contact with the fact that you, in a sense, you don't know what's going on. You're trying to figure it out, and just being honest with the fact that there's a lot of stuff out there, and we can't, at this point at least, we don't know it all. But the main idea also is
the fact that we're all here still is a miracle. I think it really is. Think about it. It's been 70 years. Since the advent of nuclear weapons, 60 years since they actually pulled the trigger on one. In anger, with malice.
Yeah, and a test
you know what I mean?
too.
Yeah. And so somehow, and not only that, it's chemical weapons, the biological stuff they've got. They got stuff that's out of this world. You know that.
Yeah, sure, indeed. That's what I'm.
And again, so I recognize all the stuff that you recognize. We're on the same page. My question to you, though, and to everybody else is, well, what are they waiting for? Right?
Yeah.
They never wait before. And in fact, people like me and you are making it more and more difficult for them to wait every day.
Yeah,
right?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's
what's
very
the
interesting. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
I don't buy it, Henry. I don't buy it. And, it's a magician show. and they're praying to God that we all buy it. Right?
They buy the trick,
I don't buy it.
Yeah. And, that's also in regards to what you say about 9/11, and I kind of feel that way in regards to that whole, event, that ritual magic show, basically, that it's like a, culminating, like the climax of a huge event, and it feels like after that point, things have kind of, as you say, kind of more dozed off than it actually have taken off, in a sense.
Right. In other words, for all the people that are worried about the takeover of the United States and the terrorists and all that, again, the best time for that, Henrik, was 9/12. Right. In other words, there's no reason to wait. You just knocked down literally. You literally sucker punched and took the air out of the biggest superpower in the world. You showed them that their banking industry, the place that they consider the most holy thing, in other words, in a materialist philosophy, which is what the United States is, right? It's primarily a materialist culture. You went right to the heart of that culture, took the symbol of all of it, capitalism, banking, the me first, all that, and laid it to the fucking ground.
Mike,
right? And guess what? You know what? If you're going to do anything else as if you needed to, in other words, people haven't realized what actually happened. It was a death blow.
Yeah.
People just haven't figured it out yet. Nothing else needs to happen. It's over. The whole thing is just now a matter of how it unfolds and how it comes apart. But the dangerous part of it is over. I really believe that. And again, I'm just basing it on my observations and my experience. It's been 6 years.
Sure, yeah.
And I've heard every year, oh, look out for Ramadan, right? Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Look out for this, that, or the other thing. People are just wasting their time. Live your life. Get on with it. Get on with it.
And that's...
do good stuff.
So you're saying that
good stuff.
That might be the
While
biggest...
you're so worried about everybody else doing bad stuff, just do some good stuff and stop worrying about everything else.
Sure. And that might be why, that might be the big, magic trick in that sense, to actually stop this, the incoming spirit, I guess, that you're talking about, that you actually keep people in that fear mode all the time. And that's the only, from their point of view, the only remedy that they got, I guess.
And that's absolutely true. And, and guys like you and me who actually get to talk about it, we get to do two things, I think. And I think it's our responsibility. Number one, it is our responsibility to lay the motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Right? Only to the point of what we know, Henrik.
Sure.
Not that we talk about that we don't know.
Yeah, that's the difficult part of all of this.
We don't know it.
Sure.
These guys are just guessing. Right? But, to the point of what you know, say what you think is happening. Always preface it with what you think.
Sure. Yeah.
This is what I think is happening based on my experience, right?
Yeah.
Based on what I've done, what I've seen, what I've read, etc. So we have the opportunity and the responsibility to do that, to be honest with people and say, this is what I think is happening.
Sure.
And at the same time, it's our responsibility, I think, to recognize that none of us really know what's going on.
Yeah, I subscribe to that, definitely, yeah.
And if you find someone that tells you they got it all figured out, run for the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
They're peddling a con.
Yeah, it's like Jordan Maxwell. He says, always, trust the people who are actually looking for the truth, not those who have said they have found it. So, I mean...
That's it, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Excellent, Mike. I mean, this
anyway,
is...
look, man,
yeah.
I know this probably wasn't exactly what you were expecting, but...
this has been awesome, Mike.
It's my heart, and I'm glad we had a chance to talk. I kind of got a boogie. I do have the family and all that.
Sure,
I have two wonderful boys,
Absolutely.
And who that's the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
My sons.
Yeah.
And because, you tell your children, we're supposed to raise our children to be good people and to not lie and all this stuff. Yet we raise them in a culture that's full of liars.
Yep, indeed.
Right? So I'm not about that. I'm telling my truth.
Yeah.
To my children. And I'm going to teach them to teach their own children the same thing, hopefully,
Yeah.
And, may the best story win, right? Because that's what's going on. What we're going to do is build a new mythology. The old myths are dying, Nick. And it's all about stories. That's what all this stuff is. It's about stories. The Christian myth that we're talking about today on Easter, it's a story.
It is.
It's a beautiful story, and it can be used to enlighten your heart and your mind, or it can be used to put shackles on it.
Sure, exactly.
Right? But it's a story. So let's tell good stories, and may the best story win.
Yeah.
And the stories of death and destruction and manipulation and male dominance hierarchies and all this patriarchal crap, it's done. All right? And you know what? Like I say to everyone, you got a problem with it, come on over to my fucking house. You're welcome.
And we'll talk. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
This has been
awesome. I love you,
Yeah.
Henrik. You've done great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Mike, before we finish off here, tell people, about your website, the correct address, and when you're on.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. It's Mike, M-I-K-E-H-H-E-A-N, Hagan, MikeHagan.com. And, like it or leave it, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's awesome, Mike.
I appreciate it if you check it out. And if you do like it, let me know. If you think it sucks, let me know that.
Awesome.
Right?
Mike, let's stay in contact and do this again sometime, okay?
We will, for sure.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we got it going.
Absolutely. Take good care, Mike, and thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers, Henry.